Howdy, Yellow Jacket fans, and welcome to the Yellow Jacket Sports Show. I'm Carl Gurgis, my sidekick, Coach James Gage. You like to take things right to the end, don't you?
Yeah, it was an exciting finish. I don't know about an exciting game, but it was an exciting finish. But it was a game that our kids needed to experience, and they needed that feeling of, hey, we can win those close ball games. So it was a fun way to finish. 29-26.
Not for weak minds and weak hearts or anything like I would have, right?
Right. It was 26-14 with 3 minutes to go, and I didn't look at the stands, but I heard that we may have had one or two fans that left a little bit early, and
possible.
They missed a heck of a comeback, but just really proud of our kids for not quitting and finding a way to get back in the game and finishing it.
All 29 of the points scored in the second half. You held Elsik to only 12. I thought Griffin had probably his best game of the year, completing 100% of his passes, going 4 for 4, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ryan Garcia kicked in very well, century mark, 103 yards. Long one of 37. Palmero also scored on a 30-yard try. You just had a lot of players.
Right, and we've been talking about that all year long. Ryan Garcia played a heck of a game the other night, probably the best game he's played all year. But we've been talking about how teams are loading the box. Their safeties are starting to get in there, and it was about halfway through the third quarter. Their safety made the tackle at about 2 yards, and I looked at our offense coordinator, Coach Piker, and I said, hey, we got to throw the ball a little bit. And so the very next play, we ran a little play action pass, and sure enough, we were wide open for a touchdown. And then we came back later in the fourth quarter, and same thing. The safeties, they weren't looking for any type of pass responsibility. They were strictly playing the run, and we were able to sneak Palermo behind them and score the big touchdown. But 4 for 4, that's doesn't seem like a lot, but when you score 2 touchdowns out of those 4 passes, that's pretty key.
With 29 points in the second half, final 8 with 12 seconds left, onside kick. You did a little bit of everything.
We did. So they did a good job. We made it 20-14 right there at the end of the third quarter, and we kicked off to them to start the last play of the third quarter. We kicked off to them, so they had the ball with 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and they went on a 16-play drive and scored with about 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go. And so they took 8.5 minutes off the clock and kind of did what we like to do, and they scored to make it 26-14. And you looked at our kids in the sideline and in the huddle, and they still believed. There was not that doubt in their eye. And we went down and scored in about 5 or 6 plays, and then sometimes you got to be lucky, and sometimes you got to be skilled. We work onside kick 3 days a week, and for that reason, Austin Hill kicked an unbelievable onside kick. Ryan Marin recovered it, and then we still had to go down and score again, and credit our kids for going down in 5 plays and scoring with 12 seconds to go.
Well, I know you've got a lot of highlights, as you should, of course, and we'll see those in just a moment. So we'll be back in a few seconds, folks. So stick with us with the Yellow Jacket highlights in the win last Friday evening. Coach, if you're ready, I know we're ready, so go right ahead with the highlights.
Yeah, let's look at them. All right, so this was second half. This was maybe the second play of the second half, maybe the first play. We're in outside veer, and we practice this every single day where we pitch the ball 10, 15, 20 yards down the field, and it may only happen once or twice a year, but when it does, we're 9 yards down the field by the time we actually pitch it, and then we end up getting about 25 more yards behind that. So just a great job by Braden and Ryan Garcia working together right there. Gets a really good block on the perimeter by Palermo, and we get the ball to the edge. And anytime we get the ball to the edge, we feel like we got a chance to have a good play. But you see the hustle down there. You got Ray Hill all the way down the field. You got Juan Juarez down the field. Deshaun Peterson gets down there, tries to pick up a big block. Caden Hodson gets on a safety right there, gets a block. So just some really good downfield blocking to kind of create that extra space down there.
Perfect block, perfect pitch, and it ended up with about a 30-yard gain.
We've said it before. There's nothing prettier than getting the ball pitched in the option right there. All right, so this was the touchdown pass. Again, the safety was making the tackle at about 2 yards, and so I told Coach Piker, hey, we need to run or throw the ball, and so just a little play action pass off of our toss that we have, and Ryan does a good job. He's not a big guy, but he kind of gets lost in there and sneaks right there by the safety, wide open. Braden just puts it on him, and he does the rest. But great job by our offensive line protecting up front, long enough for Braden to set his feet, and then again, good job by Ryan just sneaking past the safety, running to green grass, and Braden getting it to him. So this was a big score. It was 14-0 at half, and this was about 3 minutes into the second half right here to get us right back in the middle of the ball game. So made it 14-7 after the extra point. So this is the second touchdown. So this was the play that we scored on with 1 minute, 1 second left on the clock. So again, you can see there's nobody in the middle of the field. They finally stopped paying attention to our receivers, and so we said, well, if they're going to stop paying attention to them, we got to throw it to them. And again, looks like we're catching a punt because the ball kind of floated in the air a little bit, but Braden got kind of hit as he's throwing it, but he stood in there, threw a good enough pass to get it to Palermo, and then Palermo kind of turns on the Jets there at the end to get to the end zone. So a big moment for him, but a big moment for our offense. But, at this point in the game, we're still losing 26-21, so we've got to keep the emotions intact. We've got to get all the players back under control because we got 4 guys that are on offense that had to go out there and be on the onside team. So, a big play, but, hey, we had to forget it and move on to the next one and go recover that onside kick.
And he got hit right as he threw the pigskin, too.
He did, and so that's why that ball kind of floated in the air. But, again, he was so wide open, he was able to kind of catch it like a punt and then turn and run. So here's the onside kick out of Austin. He works this every day. So he gets the big hop right there. And Riley Pavlis actually comes down with the ball, and as he's coming down with it, he gets hit. And Ryan Marin is right there, Johnny on the spot, falls on it. And so, again, we recovered on the 45-yard line, I think, or so. And but here we are. We're still losing by 5 with a minute to go. We had 1 timeout. And so, again, everyone's excited. You got to be able to calm everybody down and get them back focused again. And we don't throw the ball well, but we completed 2 passes on this play or on the following series to get down there and in position to score. So just a really good job executing there the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game.
Curiously, do you work on onside kicks during the week?
We do. So we actually worked it today. We work it at least twice a week, if not 3 times a week. But we have a team that we call Money, which means we've got to get paid. We got to get the ball. So we put our money team out there, and we tell them to go get it. And then, when you get a great kick like that from Austin, give your guys a chance. So, just really good job executing out of it. So this was later on. So we recover the onside kick. We get down there. We've got 16 seconds left on the clock and 1 timeout. And I told our offensive coordinator, I said, if you don't give the ball to our best player right here, I said, I may have to take over play calling from you. And he said, I've already got you. So we turned around and we handed it to Deshaun, who's been there all year long for us. And we said, surely Deshaun can get us 2 yards.
Look, pretty good blocking up front.
Right,
you had a little hole there.
Had a good hole, and all he needed to do was get 2 yards, and he knew that. So we had a timeout in our pocket. So if he did get tackled in bounds, we still had a timeout to where we could, come up with another plan. But down there on the goal line, we feel like with Deshaun, we can get in the ball, run behind our offense line, gets a great block by Ryan Garcia there, and Deshaun gets just enough in the end zone to give us the lead. So this made it 27-26. Everybody was going nuts. Everybody was going crazy. I was out on the numbers just standing there we had that last time out, and we knew we wanted to go for 2. Well, half of our offense was out on the field. Half the field goal team was out there. We may have had people in the stands. I don't know. They were going crazy. And I finally got the attention of the officials and said, can I get a timeout, please? Calmed everybody back down, and then we executed the 2-point conversion.
Well, you need more of these exciting moments. You're young. You can handle that.
It took about 10 years off my life right there. So, but to get a win after that, it's definitely worth it. So moving over to the defensive side of the ball right here, great job by Cesar Lamelli coming off the edge. That's one thing we preached to him this last week was when we bring you off the edge, you got to take if the quarterback gives the football, kind of run the hill line of the offensive line right there. And he does a good job bending it backwards and striking the running back through his hip and thigh. And so just a great solo tackle. But a good job by the front 4 guys eating it up inside. Those guys just holding their block and not really giving that guy a big lane to run through. But Elsick did a good job executing up front all night. They were big and physical, and it was a physical football game. And like I said, in the start of the 4th quarter, they went on a 16-play drive. We couldn't get off the field.
Well, I'm just going to say they looked real tall.
Yeah, they were. And they executed. Their quarterback played really well and running back played really well. But, we made enough plays like this just to give ourselves a chance. All right, so really good job by Ryan Marin right here. He's a junior, and we've kind of changed the way we've been coaching some stuff at the linebacker level the last few weeks just to try to free up those kids to play a little bit faster. And he's really kind of taking it, reading his keys, and then getting to the football fast. But a good job kind of avoiding staying skinny right there, and then squaring up and hitting the running back right in the mouth. But then gang tackling, sometimes we let them drag us, but we feel like if we can get low on the first guy and let the cavalry get there, we got a chance to maybe get it out or at least push the guy backwards like we did. So A good job again by him reading his keys, slipping through the block right there, and then just squaring the guy up, and then wait until the troops got there. All right, so this was the big play of the game for us. It was 20-7. We had just punted to them, and Robert Rodriguez, making his first start, of his varsity career, comes up with a huge interception. And we felt like if he'd have stayed outside, he would have scored. But we were able to score 2 plays later with our offense. But does a good job undercutting the receiver right there. Obviously catching the ball, has blocking in front. I don't know if he was tired or what, but goes down there on the 4. You see the excitement, but this allowed us to score, make it a 20-14 game. And without that interception right there, I don't know if we win the game. So just a great job by him, senior, getting his opportunity to get in there and play and making the most of it. So blocked field goal. We blocked one field goal and then they missed another or a bad snap on the other. So if they execute both of those, it's a 28-27 game, and we're either forced there at the end to go for 2 in the win or kick an extra point to tie it. But with the blocked extra point and then missing the other one, that only put them at 26 points, which meant when we scored that last touchdown, we had the lead.
Who blocked it?
It was hard to tell because the kick was a little bit low. I don't know if it would have been good, but we counted as a block. But it looks like Liam Binger or Anthony Contreras maybe comes right up the middle and gets a hand on it possibly. But it was kind of just the film's not great, and it was a low kick. That's why you see that ball bounce straight up in the air like that. So, but a big play for us because it took points off the board for them, which allowed us to fight back in the game.
Well, tomorrow evening, the 27th, back to Crump again. You must love that place. Alief Hastings. Tell us a little bit about Hastings.
Yeah, I joked with their AD the other day, Coach Moling. I said, Crump Stadium says Alief ISD. I said, you're going to have to put Alief ISD / Alvin ISD up on the press box as many times. That's our 6th time to play over there in 2 years. So we know that stadium very well. But Hastings is a team, if you look at their record, you probably think, they're not very good. But if you watch how they've played the last 2 weeks, they beat Elsick 41-14 a couple weeks ago. And then last week they put up over 400 yards of offense against Strake. They're getting better. Their team is getting better. They're starting a freshman at quarterback. They're big and physical up front, and they've got some good team speed. But, we feel like if we go over there and we play really, really well like we did in the second half the other night, we're going to give ourselves a chance to get another win over there. And but we're going to have to show up and play well because they are getting better. Coach De La Rosa over there does a good job getting his kids to play hard, and we know we're going to be in for a dogfight over there.
Okay, we've got a 7 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night at Crump, and then we'll be back next Wednesday with more highlights of the Jacket game with Hastings. For Carl Gurgis, we got old Coach Gage with us. Hey, pull it through again. You might want, for people my age, to not do quite as much at the end. That really isn't really good for your health.
I told our kids, as exciting as that was, I would take a 45-0 win any day of the week over that. But no, it was a good win for Alvin High School, a good win for the community. But I was extremely proud for our coaches and extremely proud for our kids the other night. So we're going to try to go over there and do it again tomorrow.
Well, let's do that, and of course we'll be back next week with more highlights of the game between Hastings. Remember, Jacket Pride never dies.
Absolutely. Jacket Pride never dies.